Angry guy here. She's hungry, homeless, on the streets, and men won't help her. Guys, to request a topic for a video, see the description below. And let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
All right, so what's your name?
Christal Dodd. I go by Warrior.
Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
38.
Where are you from originally?
Born and raised in Phoenix.
What's your current situation? You homeless?
I'm homeless. I have been for the last 9 years. I lost my mom to cancer, and then I lost my apartment. I've been all over the Phoenix area, from North Phoenix to South Side. It's not easy. And whether you're an addict or not, being on the streets, you've got to be on something to survive it, because it's bad. I mean, you find some good, honest people, but not very many, not anymore.
What kind of stuff happens out here?
Fights, stealing, lying from each other, fucking... It depends on what area of Phoenix you're really in, to be honest. It really does. Sunny Slope's real bad. With being homeless and a group of homeless individuals, you would figure it'd be like a homeless community, and they'd be helping each other out, building each other up, you know, not tearing each other apart like they do. I couldn't tell you how many times I've lost everything I owned because they stole from me or whatever else, or I give it away just to help somebody else out. I've helped girls in bad situations that needed help getting out and finding resources. It's difficult because you find yourself in a group of people and you're like, okay, you know, this a good group, I'll stick with it, you know?
Yeah.
And then come to find out they're doing some shady stuff. It's like, great, here we go again, round two. But I mean, it's just, it's not that easy being on the streets between people within the community or homeless community and the cops. You can't never catch a break. Every time you turn around, you're being chased out of one place or another. I mean, me personally, I couldn't tell you how many places I've been chased from. They say that the canal, we're allowed to stay on the canal for 2 weeks at a time, but then we got to move. Yet the cops are here 3 days after we get here telling us, you got to pack your stuff and go. I mean, I get it, because it's a respect factor, and it only takes one to spoil the whole thing for everybody. But if we built each other up and helped each other out and cleaned up, it wouldn't be so bad. But there are those that just don't care. They've lost everything, or for whatever reason they've got, and that's about where I was about 3 years ago. I mean, I was ready to give up and throw in the towel, and then I had some stuff going on that was on a really good high note, and I was like, all right, I'll give it another try, you know? So I signed up for housing, and I'm waiting for the authorities to open up their fundings again so I can get my housing voucher and go find me an apartment. But after 9 years, I've seen a lot of ugly that's out there.
How long have you been on the waiting list for housing?
Since April of last year. April or August of last year.
Okay.
And even though they say, oh, rapid rehousing, even rapid rehousing still takes 6 months to a year to even get your voucher, let alone into an apartment or a house or whatever, you know? And with the increase of prices or the inflation and everything like that, it doesn't help. It's causing more people to become homeless, but yet they're wanting to stop the homelessness. How are you going to stop something that you can't control because of whatever the government's doing, you know? I mean, Tent City down by Cass, they shut it completely down in one weekend.
I seen that.
And the sad part about that is, where are those people going to go? Okay, granted, you got 500 rooms in a hotel that just got built, but how many rooms actually have a person in them? Or how many people are actually in that one room? A lot of us that are out here, we struggle with mental illness, more so than just substance abuse. I've got a
I mean, guys, her name is Christal. She is only 38 years old. And if you told someone that she was 60 or even 68 years old, they would believe you. 38 years old, and she looks well into her 60s. Well into her 60s. No one would question it if they said, oh, she is 68 years old. No one would question it that she is 68. But she is actually 38 years old. She's been on the streets for 9 years. Guys, when I tell you that homelessness for many is a choice, it's a choice. Notice what she says also about mental illness, that many of them out there are struggling with mental health issues. And the simple truth is they just keep putting them back on the streets. Guys, most women, once they end up homeless today, right, and they hit a certain age, it's going to be completely different. It's a whole different ball game, because you don't have all these dudes rushing out to house them. And as you can see, after what's happened with M2, men aren't going out there and saying, hey, let me give this girl a chance anymore. You see, the Sims, they're happy, they're happy with Twitch girls and or lonely fans or only fools, but they're not actually going to help these people. They're not going to help them with housing. They're not going to help them get back on their feet. They honestly don't care. They are happy with the catastrophe that they have created in Western society. They absolutely are. Women in Western society, they created this mess for themselves. They absolutely did. They chose this for themselves, and there's really no going back. There absolutely isn't. She calls herself warrior. Guys, like, that's how hard it is on those streets right now. You literally have to be a warrior. All right? Literally warrior. That's what she's on right now. Okay? She is a warrior out in the streets. I really need men to wake up and see what the reality is. And I have a big prediction. I'm going to make another video about it, but where it's already beginning to happen, where, guys, the M2 is only going to it's going to make a massive resurgence. It's already happening. But as the economy gets worse, as inflation gets higher, as they continue to dance around that we're not in a recession, when in reality we are, like, people are like, just don't know how to survive right now. You're going to see more women like cooping back up M2. It's going to be like M2 part 2, because a lot of it's going to be out of desperation, because the new order in Western society is, if you need to get ahead, if you need money, the fastest way to do it is to blame someone, is to name someone and say that this happened. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. Just name them, and then go after, and then go for as much as you possibly can, and that's it. And that's how women in Western society will now survive, where they don't care. They will go after whoever they have to go after to get that money so that they can survive. And that's just the new reality of it. Look at what happened with OpenAI. OpenAI has now crashed and it's burning. Okay? Because the feminists at that company launched a coup, and the company is now in the grounds. The platform is down. I mean, guys, this is what happens. This woman is hungry. She's homeless. She's on the streets. There are no men helping her. She talked about housing. She applied for housing, she said, in either April or August of last year. So it's been almost a year and a half since she applied. It takes a minimum of 6 months just to get, like, with rapid housing, it takes like a minimum of 6 months, I think she said, or it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And then to find a place to, it takes like a minimum of 6 months to, like, find a place to live after you get the voucher. I think that's what she was saying. So it's so she may not get a voucher for maybe after 2 years. She might get one, and then it'll take maybe 2.5 to 3 years in total to actually get housing if she's lucky. And they call these things a lottery. They call it a lottery because there's basically everyone's trying to get a housing voucher, but they can't. And a lot of places, people don't want to take them because when they can charge $5,000 a month, they're not going to want to house a lot of these people, especially people who are coming off the streets, have issues with certain substances, have mental health issues. They're going to say, well, we house these people, and what condition are they going to leave our place in? And what happens if they lose their voucher? What happens if they lose that funding? What about issues with law enforcement? Am I going to constantly have people, police officers coming in and out of my property? What about damage that can occur on my property? What about legal issues? Because a lot of these people have legal issues. It's insane. And like I said, guys, this is the effects that homelessness has on women. It ages them rapidly, absolutely rapidly. And also substance use is a big issue. But the stress, it's just overwhelming. It really is, By the way, guys, as I've pointed out, if you have a topic you want me to cover, to request a topic for a video, see the description below. And guys, also turn on notifications because a lot of you guys aren't subscribed. You're subscribed, but you don't have notifications turned on. So subscribe and turn on notifications. Turn on the notification bell so that you can always be notified when I put out another video. And some of you aren't getting a lot of you aren't getting notifications. What do you guys think regarding this? Women are now homeless, they're hungry, they're on the streets, and no men are approaching them. All right. Plan B guys are just walking away and going overseas. I want to know your thoughts in the comments, so let's talk about them there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.